Welcome back to GateCrashers. Today is a special episode because I get to do the thing the show is really about, crashing gates. I get to experience a new thing that I had no experience with formerly, which was F1 Formula Racing. It is, I'm American, so I mostly just know NASCAR, but it is pretty much the most popular sport around the world other than football, soccer, but it's super fast cars. I was lucky enough to talk with one of the biggest names in that industry, Guenther Steiner, who ran the team principal. He was the team principal of Haas Formula One from 2016 to 2023. We got to talk about his book, Unfiltered, which is about his life. The Unfiltered title is very apt for this man. He's well known for his expletives with places you're not supposed to be dropping them. Such am I. But we also get to talk about how he has approached being vulnerable and open with a book about himself. And he gives, the exact kind of answers you expect someone like this to give. Everything about this interview was really exciting. We got to do it at the F1 Cafe, which the F1 Arcade, which I was not expecting to be as elegant and incredible as it was. I'm very lucky to have gotten to go there. There's one in Philadelphia. There's one, there's some in multiple cities, Washington, D.C., but essentially the whole place is only F1 Formula, training simulators, so the things people actually use. So it's really cool. The food is incredible. The bar is unbelievable. And the staff in the Philadelphia one was incredible. So I'm glad they let us come out and do this interview. My interview was after two other sites who are big F1. So it was kind of interesting to hear their questions about the industry and things like that, something I'm very unfamiliar with, but then to get to go into talking about books, which I, come kind of familiar with, and get to have this wonderful conversation. So I hope you enjoy.
So I'm a pretty hard-hitting journalist, so I start all my interviews off with a tough one, so I hope you're ready. I know you've been around the block, but what's your favorite sandwich?
Reuben.
Oh, it's, you know what? Number one sandwich out of all of my interviews. Now, from all of my research with you, all of your jobs have dealt with large teams. Being a family man, your managers, everything you've done works with a large team. But now we're talking about your book. Your book, you worked with one person. What is that like for you to have a relationship with someone so well that you're dictating, you're talking about your life story with someone in that intimate of a space?
First of all, James, the ghostwriter, came up with the idea of a book. He sent me emails. I didn't know the guy. I ignored his emails. He was persisting, so I said, this guy is persisting. I need to be respectful and write back to him. So I wrote back to him. We agreed. He pushed me into a telephone call. You know how these people. And then we talked about it, and I was like, I don't really want to do a book. I mean, I've got the time. I don't want to do a biography. He said, we're not doing a biography. We're doing a story about one year, the first book, a year in your life, and things like this. And I said, all right, let me think about it. I said, you can ask about me, Johnny Herbert, which was a F1 driver, because he wrote his book. And I know Johnny very well, but normally I see Johnny once a year. Pure coincidence, I ran into Johnny the next day, because after 3 days I would forget to ask Johnny, So I see Johnny and say, hey Johnny, I spoke yesterday with, just do it, Guenther. You will be fine with him, he's pretty cool. So we met up, I met up with James, I got on with him, and then we started off, I invited him to come to a race with me the whole day, because I want to make sure that he gets my character. I didn't want a book out there written and not representing how I think things are, So I spent the whole race weekend with him. I think it was the test, I don't remember, but anyway, and there it started, and therefore we got pretty close, and I could see that I could trust him. What I say, he didn't use everything because you cannot use all of my opinions. Yeah. It's dangerous, So he took the bad ones out, and therefore it went like this. And then when we did the book tour. I did a few shows with some journalists and stuff. I said, I've got actually a better idea. Let's get James to do it with me, because he knows him very well. He knows what the people want to hear. And we have got and you will see on the show, if you're coming, you will see we have got good interactions, because it's sometimes he asks me something I don't expect, and sometimes I give him answers that he's like, what has he told me now? It's like, I try always to throw him off a little bit,
And you seem like a person who's pretty hard on the sleeve. You're very boisterous, as many of your fans know, but was it vulnerable for you to put out a book that's like your whole story, or was that scary at all, or no? You were just like, do it.
No, it's like, I mean, it's all true. It happened, you know. I didn't have to, and if it is true, I mean, why would I be afraid of it? You know, it happened. I mean, nobody got damaged. You know, I mean, obviously, maybe there is some opinions in there, but I never tried to damage anybody or anything. You know, so no, it wasn't. Obviously, the first book I had a friend of mine read it first. Before me, because I was more like, it's the same, like I don't watch net, I never watch Drive to Survive, because I don't want to see myself, you know.
Yeah.
But then I read the book. Obviously I had to read it when I did the audiobook, you know. But no, because this is things that actually happened. So why? Obviously it is like, maybe you feel a little moment, oh, should I really have said that? It's too late now.
Yeah.
It's done. But it's okay.
I interview a lot of prose writers for fiction and things like that, but with a biography, you're doing these chapters of distinct points of your life. Do you think those chapters accurately represent you now in your book?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they represent me. Yeah.
And with doing your show, do you think that brings a whole new level to your book as you're getting to speak about it? Do you find new things about yourself as you're talking and doing these discussions?
You always find things about yourself, but what it will show, people which read the book and then see me, they actually see that the book, it's true, you know, it's realistic, because this is how I am, you know. I cannot change, I don't want to change, and it was not exaggerated or nothing, you know. It was like, hey, it is like it is. If you like it, good. If you don't like it, don't read it.
I love that. Now, you're well known for using the F word quite a lot. My favorite word as well. Do you have another favorite word that isn't an expletive? A word you just love to say?
No.
Really? Well, do you have a second favorite expletive then?
I need to think here, because I actually don't listen to myself, you know, so I don't know what I say.
They just come out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to give you something to think on for next time I see you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Something to work on, you know, to give you more answers.
Thank you.
The GateCrashers.